Hello everyone, welcome to the new class of biology. The previous class we discussed about the topic linkage and recombination. In today's topic we will discuss how the gender of an organism is determined with the help of some structures which are present in our chromosome. Okay, see, back in a particular scenario, in a particular stage, many scientists were actually confused what actually must be how actually must be the gender of a particular organism determined. So they were actually a bit confused over that particular thing. They used the genetic concept, the chromosomal concept, many things they utilized. Then one day a scientist by name Henking, a scientist by name Henking, in 1891 discovered that in the nucleus during the spermatogenesis process where the sperm production was taking place, he found a particular structure which in sense he named it as X body. He named that structure as X body, and this X body was actually responsible for the production of the sperm in that particular organism, whichever organism he used for his experiment. And later this X body was what type of structure was that, it was not confirmed, but later the scientists confirmed that this X body was actually a chromosome which determines the gender of an organism. So they named it as X chromosome. So they named it as X chromosome. Okay, so various types of organisms had different type of chromosome type. In case of some insects, they have this X0 type of chromosomes, also this XY type of chromosome. Now we will discuss what is this X0 type of chromosome, what is this XY type of chromosome. This X0 type of chromosome, if we consider, see, in case of organisms, there are different type of chromosomes present in them. Okay, one at a particular time period was there a long time ago. Scientists thought that all the chromosomes were of similar manner, had similar function, but later, after Henking discovered about this X type chromosome, they got to know that there are also chromosomes which determine the gender of an organism. So this X0 type of chromosome, what it actually leads to, they can be classified into two different type of chromosome structure, which is found in male as well as female, which is found in the male as well as which is found in the female. So XO type of chromosome in case of male was actually of this pattern, and XO type of chromosome in case of females was actually of this pattern. What XO meant was, sorry, what actually XO meant was that the organism will produce chromosomes, or will produce the sperm, or will produce the gamete responsible for the production of sperm, but it won't produce any egg. This O means it won't produce any egg. That was the particular thing that we can understand from this. Okay, and this XO type chromosome, along with the different other chromosomes, that organism possessed or had this XO type of chromosome, which determined that that organism was actually a male. And what about this XX type of chromosome? XX type of chromosome determined that this organism will definitely have an egg cell or a sperm or a egg gamete ovum produced in it. So the chromosome plus the XX category, chromosome plus XX, actually determined that this particular species is actually a female. Okay, that's what actually was the scenario. This XO or this XX was actually known by a particular name. They were known as the sex chromosome. Those chromosomes which determine the gender of an organism, sex of an organism, was known as the sex of chromosome, and the remaining chromosomes, whichever were present in them, they were known as autosomes. Okay, they were known by the name autosomes. There was sex chromosome which determined the gender of an organism. There was autosomes which actually carried out different other functions or scenarios. Okay, this was one scenario of XXXO type of chromosome. Similarly, there was also XY type of chromosomal structure where the males carried the XY plus, this was the sex chromosome, this was the sex chromosome, and there were other chromosomes, and they were known as autosomes, and they were actually the male. And what about females? They had this XX type of chromosome plus, that was actually the gender chromosome, sex chromosome, and also altogether some other chromosomes which were actually known as the autosomes, and they were actually the female. They were actually the female. So that was about this chromosomal structure. Okay, so one thing can be made sure that in both the cases, in the case where we mentioned about XO type, in the case we mentioned about XY type, you can see the females had the same type of chromosomes, right? In the XY type it was XX for female, in the XO type it was XX for the female. But in the case of XY type and XO type, the males had different type of gender chromosome or the sex chromosome. The XO type for male was the sex chromosome for the XO type, and XY type was for that male, right? So one thing was for sure, that whatever gender of an organism was to be determined, it was on the basis of the sex chromosome or the gamete that was produced by the male. It was male that was responsible for the gender of the next generation species. Okay, this type of chromosomes were actually found in some of the insects. These were also found in some of the insects, plus also it is also found in the human category. Okay, the Drosophila melanogaster, actually insects, those insects were coming under this category. Insects like grasshopper come under this XO type of category. Okay, so what it is actually, the gender of a next generation species was actually controlled by the male gametes, so that such type of chromosomal structure, XO type, XY type structure, were actually known by the name male heterogamety. That phenomenon where the male or the male gametes are responsible for the gender of a chromosome or gender of the next species, that process was actually known by the name male heterogamety. One type is XO and another type is XY. Clear? I hope you understood this much. But in case of birds, majority of the birds, they do not have this issue. In case of birds, what happened? They have different type of chromosomes and different type of such heterogamety. There, in that case, females were the one responsible for the gender of the organism. Okay, the females are actually responsible for the gender of the organism in case of birds. In case of birds, female were responsible for the gender of the organism, and since female were responsible for the gender of the organism, that particular process was actually known by the name female heterogamety. Female heterogamety. Okay, in order to understand easily what the scientists did, they assigned a different name for the chromosome body of the birds. It was of ZW type. Okay, ZW type, where we said females were responsible for the gender of the gender of the next species. So males will have definitely the same type of chromosomes, sex chromosome. Males had Z sex chromosome along with different other chromosomes which were known as autosomes, and females were the one having sex chromosome ZW plus the other autosomes. Okay, so this was representation for females and this was the representation for the male. Okay, by this sex chromosome representation itself, it is clear that that in birds females are the one responsible for the gender of the next species. Okay, now coming to the gender determination, or how to find the gender of an organism, gender of humans. We said that in case of even humans, we have this XY type of scenario. Okay, how many total number of chromosomes that does a human being have? Actually, human being have 23 pairs of chromosomes, right? I think you know it. In the very first chapter we had studied, there are 23 pairs of chromosomes in human beings. Means we can say there are in total 46 chromosomes, isn't it? There are 46 chromosomes. So in among these chromosomes there could be some sex chromosomes, there could be some autosomes, right? So in case of human beings, what the scenario was, there were 22 pairs of autosomes and one pair of the sex chromosome. Means in total how much do we need? We need in total 23 pairs, and in 23 pair one pair was only sex chromosome and the remaining was actually the autosome. And on the basis of this one pair we have to determine which one was male and which one was female. We had made it understood by ourselves which one could be male, which one could be female. In case of male, what would be the chromosome arrangement? 22 pairs of autosome, 22 pairs of autosome plus one pair of sex chromosome. Which will be the sex chromosome in male? It will be XY, right? 23 pairs of chromosome means one pair, 22 pairs of autosomes and one pair of sex chromosome. Or you can say there were 46 chromosomes, right? 46 chromosome in total, 44 autosomes and 2 sex chromosome. You can understand it any way you want, both are true on their own basis. Okay, so in case of male, there were 22 pairs of autosomes, or you can say there were 44 autosomes, and they had the sex chromosome one pair, XY pair of sex chromosome, or you can say there were 2 sex chromosomes for the male. What about the female? What could be the scenario for the female? In case of females, the same thing, remaining number of chromosomes will be the same, no doubt in that. They will also have 22 pair of autosomes. Autosomes are same in all case for males and females in human beings. Even if you take remaining organisms, they will definitely have one pair of sex chromosome in them. Remaining the pair of chromosomes will be same. So females will also have 22 pair of autosomes, or you can say they will have 44 autosomes in total, and what is it? Okay, that came in between. Anyways, they are the organisms. Okay, so sorry for the disturbance. So in between females, if we consider, females will have 22 pair of autosomes in total, means they will have 44 autosomes, right? Plus one pair of sex chromosome, which will be what? XY. X, or they will have two sex chromosomes if we are not considering the pair, right? So this is how about we take it as a pair. 23 pairs, 23 pairs. And if we take it in case of uh, not individually, then there will be 46 chromosomes in total, right? Now what are the chances that the next generation could be a male and next generation could be a female? Okay, see, in case of males they will have this sex chromosome XY, and in case of female they will have this sex chromosome XX, right? So when this spermatogenesis process occur, the process of production of sperm occur, male will have two types of gamete present in them, and in both these two type of gamete 50 percentage will be of X type and 50 percentage will be of Y type. Okay, but in case of females, there will be only one condition. The 100%, the total will be of X type chromosome. What I want to make you understand from this particular thing is, if there are two gametes from this condition, X and Y, and there is only one gamete from this is for female, this is for male, what are the chances that the next generation will be a boy or a girl? What are the chances? If we take this case, XX, the chromosome will have the sex chromosome XX, means the next generation can be a girl. Or if we take this particular scenario, XY, what are the chances that the next generation are boy? It is what the chances. So this particular thing shows that there is 50 percentage chance that the next generation is a boy, and 50 percentage chance that the next generation is a girl. So there are 50-50 chances that we can say that the next generation could be a boy or a girl. Understood? So who decides, or which gamete decides that the next generation is a male or a female? It is decided, we had already mentioned, it is actually the male heterogamety. The male gamete is responsible actually for the gender of the next generation. It is not the female actually which decides. In case of human beings, it's not the females that decide the next generation's gender, it is the males that decide what could be the next generation gender. Means if there is a fertilization process between a male parent and a female parent, the chances of the next generation being a man or being a woman, means being a girl or a boy, are 50-50, and it is decided by the male parents gamete XY, right? I hope you understood the concept. But still in our society, the females are actually blamed for the birth of a girl child or a boy child, whatever it is taken, and several issues takes place in different houses because of that issue. But it's in our country, it is not being taught properly to each and everyone in the households, that it is not the females or the woman responsible, it is actually the male gamete that is responsible. It doesn't mean that males are responsible, it doesn't mean that females are responsible, it is actually the male gamete responsible for the next generation's birth or the next generation's gender to be determined. Birth is controlled by woman, that's for sure, but the gender is actually, it's actually in the hands of the males. But that also cannot be controlled, because it is not yet known that how or what are the chances that X or the Y gamete can fuse or can come as into the gamete so that it can fuse with the female gamete. Okay, so that's all about the class, that's all about what has been told. So homework for you, if you could try, a male, you have to show the Mendel's cross, 22 pairs of autosomes plus one pair of sex chromosome, this is representing female, 22 pairs of autosomes and one pair of sex chromosome, it is actually representing the male. You have to show with the help of Mendelian cross, the cross that we studied, t small t, when we cross it you get small t capital T. So you have to show it in that way, in that cross process. Okay, so try to show it, try to solve it, try to do by yourself in the format of a Mendel cross. Okay, and try to show the progeny that could be occurred. I told you that it is the 50% 50-50 chance to get a male as well as female. You have to show it in this way, in this manner. Okay, that's all about today's class. I hope you understood the topics and concepts. Thank you and have a nice day.